Okay.
Bam.
I was like, whoa, wait.
My computer crashed out. It was like it started and then it flashed. So I don't know what happened. But anyway, what's up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name's St. Kramer, Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we got back with us Big Fort Entertainment. What is up, guys?
What's up, guys?
How's everyone's revisit back to the Last of Us universe?
I mean, it's been nuts. I mean, really, this was nuts. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm telling you, what we think is going to happen is going to happen quickly. This they're flying down. Like, this stuff is not. They're not going to hold this off. We're like, you know.
I think you're right. Episode 3.
Episode 3. Done.
I think so. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
it kind of makes sense too, right? Because other things he has going on at the time this was filming, so it kind of makes sense. Just
well,
hoping a little later, you know what I mean? But
dude, how depressed can you be watching this damn show?
Like, my girlfriend's already like, I'm not gonna watch it, not because it's not bad, just because she can't go through the emotional
damage that you have to go through,
like, trauma that the whole second game puts you through. So yeah, she's like not watching it.
Yeah,
I said this. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be having kids after watching this episode. I was like, man, this be it. I was like, man, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, no, I'm good.
I know exactly what you're saying. You know my motto, right? I'm gonna keep it PG. I ain't gonna say it, but when I watched this episode, it was yes, 100%. I was like, what are you doing, man? You know. So, but yeah.
Let's see who's in chat real quick, and we start breaking down this episode. We got Collector Movie Man coming in. Are we doing a watch along? No watch along.
Yeah,
because it was Sunday night. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe episode 3, because that's the one we think stuff might happen, and then probably the finale again. We'll probably do something like that. Honestly,
I don't think last 3 episodes. Like, it's not
getting
through episode 3. Only 7
episodes. So.
How many? 7? That's it.
7. Yeah.
Once my roundtables for Daredevil over, then I'm gonna start doing the watch parties on Sunday for it.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah, we'll do that then.
It's funny when you. Okay, go ahead.
I was just saying who else is in. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say you could tell what type of people, like, are there Abby apologists or not, by just listening to their reviews of this episode. Like, you could tell who likes Abby and who doesn't like Abby just by listening.
Does anybody like Abby? I don't know a single person that likes Abby.
What was that? I was watching Screen Rant. That dude, like, yeah, he likes
really.
Abby. Yeah, he's more of an Abby person. He's like,
get out of here.
Joel. I was like, man,
no, F her, man. F her and her dad.
She's like, no worse. Like, did you play the video game? Do you know who she is? Man.
Yeah. But Collector saying, looking forward to hearing the discussion. He thought it was pretty darn close to the game. Hope you guys had an awesome time with Comic-Con. Yeah, we'll talk Comic-Con on Thursday. Can't break that down.
I have so much crap. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. You guys definitely look like you had a good time over there, you know?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah. It was a fun time.
I can't see my Magneto helmet that's signed, my Bishop that's signed, my Wolverine that's signed. Yeah,
you're
this. I have 3 things by Allison Silly Smith. Dude, awesome. It's awesomeness.
Yeah. I guess I should get it.
My jersey, Emilio Estevez.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that I was not getting. This is the one I was not getting right here. This is the one.
I know I'm getting something, so I'll just be waiting until the delivery truck comes in, you know?
Oh, man. It was fun, though. I had a really good time.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, well, we'll break more down. We got some interviews coming out, too, in the next couple of days. So with some comic creators and stuff. So that was a good time.
Like, definitely, I talked about his stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we had another guy that we met down there that did a lot of stuff. Oh man, I forgot about this season.
That's fire.
It's awesome.
This was amazing. And then the guys who did the Street Team Studios, they did Rage City. So having a conversation with them was pretty cool. And just, I got the video for Allison City Smith. So if I can upload that, if all the sound sounds good, I'm going to do that too. So I have that on my computer too. So it's a lot of stuff. So we'll put it all out.
Yeah, all that's going to come out. And then we'll just kind of like talk about it on Thursday. So. And hopefully by Thursday, I think a lot of it would be out, so we'll be able to like maybe watch some videos and talk about it. So, yeah, we'll talk to that on Thursday. What else we got in here? We got Delta Dan coming in saying, "What's up,
Dan?
Going on?"
We got Derpy.
Derp, what's up, man?
Mr. YouTube, what is up, Mr. YouTube?
Glad you came back, man. Love seeing you.
Yeah. Tony's in the house.
Tony. Loving the dreads, bro. Tell you, when you get it like braided and you let them for like 2 weeks and you take them down and they're all curly, so it's awesome.
There you go. Deuce saying more Abby next episode.
See,
100.
There's some people you could tell who likes Abby, who doesn't, just by their conversations, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you saw how the monsters were kind of becoming smarter, and the hive mind coming inside the town, and there's just a lot of stuff going on that they showed was really cool.
Yeah. I think season 3 already got greenlit, which was obvious. So hopefully they start on that like soon. So, but yeah, more Abby. And we got Mama Bear. What's up,
Mama Bear? All right, guys, keep going. Let's get started.
We're ready. Delta Dan said, "The big for you a Yankees fan." So how you like my Giants?
Actually, I'm not. It just goes good with the
likes the hat,
sweater and everything. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You usually have a Montreal Expos hat on. That's what.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have the Expos anymore, so I'm gonna just wear what matches.
Right. Oh man. Tony said the actress that got for Abby is a good actress. I like her. She's a good actress.
It doesn't look like Abby, but sure.
No.
Yeah. No. Good actress. Yeah, the
Stiff Breeze might blow her over, but yeah.
Yeah, they had one job.
Yeah. They're definitely going with a different kind of Abby, I think. Because was that Isabel Merced is a baddie? Who's she? Is
that Dina?
Is that Dina?
I think that is Dina. Yeah.
Okay. I don't. She doesn't look too familiar. I couldn't put my finger on anything else she was in. So,
well, she's we're also going to see her as Hawk Girl this summer.
Yeah. So she's Hawk Girl.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, that's awesome. So that might not be too bad. Like she gets her little intro in the show, and then people kind of recognize her. So
it was Dora. Like I'm like, what the hell your intro?
Oh, was she Dora? Oh, see, I didn't watch Dora. I mean, it was in my
She was in Dora. She was in Alien Romulus.
I know you watched it.
She sure was Romulus. Alien Romulus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wasn't she in Madam Web?
Was she?
I tried to check that movie from my memory.
I know she was in one of the Transformers movies.
Right, she was.
One of those Transformers movies she was in.
The fact that you remember from Dora and not from the other movies, kind of like
because she was a star in Dora. So yeah, come on, she was a star in Dora. Yeah,
you see, you got to pass because you got girls, right? So
that's what it's like. I thought the most out of all of them.
That's when I remember the most. Like, I mean, if someone was telling me, it's like, what's the other? I didn't watch Sicario, so I'm not sure about that. But they said she was in that. But I was listening to a lot of reviews about The Last of Us for her. But yeah, she's been in quite a few.
Yep.
Good. Run a little bit. Say
What
greetings.
up, T?
PT. Found she's hot girl. That there you go. That's the dance at that. The Dina actress. Everyone's loving Dina. Did well too. Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah.
She was the cool girl, the cool kid. You know, and, that somehow Ellie's pulling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We did not get anything signed by the Hobbits, unfortunately. Their lines were insane.
That line
all
was
weekend.
Stupid.
Really?
So there's only a couple complaints that I saw about C2E2 at all, and all of them were about being in line for like hours.
Yeah.
Hours. It was crazy.
Yeah, they need to get that kind of fixed a little bit, for sure. But they had a panel. I saw clips of the panel. It looked crazy for sure. So hopefully they release the whole video. Sand. I had a feeling it was a style choice. I think he's hats off because
definitely.
Got some red. He had some red Jordans on too. Come on, you probably
100. I'm in the house, so no, I don't got on the Jordans now. But yes, I definitely.
They're probably right by the door. Don't trust them.
It's funny
right by the door.
because when I was watching your videos, I was like, I got those Jordans. I got the same Jordans.
That's why I really should do a video of all the Jordans I got in my clear boxes. I have at least 54 a pair.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that'd be a good members only. Do that for the members,
man.
Oh man. T saying Ellie's truly going to watch Abby in 1v1. That makes me sad. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. She was in Man Web. There you go. Yeah, and then Girl Dad. Power.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
And absolutely not Mama Bear. It's not happening.
Well, Mama Bear soon. Oh yeah, I'm on.
Support the Jays.
The Blue Jays. You're not doing Toronto. You're not. No.
Nope. Raptors is as far as I will go. That's it. The Blue Jays. There's too much history in that one. No.
That's fine. Right now, that's the only Canadian baseball team, right?
Blue Jays, yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
It is.
Man. Fernando's in the house. What's up?
Fernando.
Episode 1 was fire. It was. And that's when saying what convention were we at? We went C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic-Con Entertainment Expo. So it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. It's also just a lot. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, a ton of people.
It's just a lot.
Like 3 times I came home just passed out.
Yeah.
That was me the first night for sure. I passed right out.
Yeah. Like Sunday, I took my boys. Brian took his girls. I don't know how your girls were, but when we came home, they were dead. It was like 7 o'clock. They're like, we're done. Like they went to bed early and they stayed to sleep all night. It was awesome.
I did something stupid. I bought my girls. The guy was selling the swords, right? The wooden swords. So they were selling for 2 for 1. Ooh. So I was like, I got $40. I bought them swords. They had been sword fighting everywhere. They cleared out the front room. They turned the lights on in the front room, right? The first room in the house. They're sitting there sword fighting for like hours.
As it should be.
Yeah, all right. Well, I was like, why did you do that? I was like, well, I'm getting ready for LARPing, I guess. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, right. Dang, man. I know that's gonna be something I'm gonna get, at least get them the foam swords when they inevitably whack each other in the head. Like, it won't hurt too bad.
When we went to go see Revenge of the Sith, my son had his Darth Vader helmet. He had his lightsaber. Yeah, we went all in for that. So I get it.
That just means you raised him right. That's all.
I get a picture of that, but that's a picture from a window. Right now in the elevator. So that's just part. That's not even the whole thing. That's just part of it, man. It was wild.
Dude, it is so much.
I brought my boys. They had a blast. They had a blast.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But I mean, but it was very short lived, because there's a time limit on things.
Yeah.
And I was tired. My legs were gonna explode from all the walking.
Here, back. I'm gonna get something to drink.
Okay.
It's so funny. My little one, my 8-year-old, is like, I'm telling you, she gets taller and taller. So like she was passing girls, like these grown women. She's much taller than they are. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I didn't realize grown people are shorter than 5'2". Like, it's just it drives me nuts. I don't know.
She probably would have been taller than Emilio Estevez.
It definitely would have been.
Eye to eye. Well, oh man. Let's say, oh, yeah, that's dope. Yeah, a lot of fun. Didn't suggest the Leafs.
Yeah, we're not doing that either.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Vladimir Guerrero's son just signed with the Blue Jays?
We're not doing that. We're not.
I mean, Vlad played for Montreal for a long time, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not doing that.
And the collector said, started watching 2 new shows, Handmaid's Tale and Lioness.
So I've been watching Lioness, and my wife is watching Handmaid's Tale right now.
Man, season 1 was like, I'm good. Like, I don't know how many more seasons they made. I was like, yeah, it's not because it's bad. It's just like very depressing.
It's 3 or 4, right? Right now it's on 3 or 4.
It's very depressing. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be reminded of real life when I watch TV.
For real.
But, yeah.
That was the best explanation right there. Well, I don't really
as to why I don't like the Batman. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, if there's a dude like driving around in like a badass car, chilling, taking out mobsters, I mean, that. Dude said Canada has 7, 8 NHL teams, but only 1 MLB and 1 NBA. Yeah, Mexico wants in too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, we had our baseball team, and the year that we did the best, and everybody was saying Montreal's gonna win it, they had the strike, and
it was supposed to be Montreal against the White Sox that year, the 1994. Yeah. It was supposed to be Montreal against the White Sox.
Yep, they had the strike, and then we were never got anything after that. So
yeah, I mean that the strike almost killed baseball in general. Like it got
for real
bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do not this year, but next year they're gonna have a work stoppage. I don't know. It might kill baseball.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, also, Deuce, I finished Solo Leveling. Season 2 is so good, man. I cannot wait for season 3.
How did you finish? Oh my, dude! We did so much this weekend. We did so much. Oh my god!
I stayed up till like 3:30, like Saturday into Sunday, because I'm like, I had like 4 episodes left. I'm like, I gotta finish it because like the last fight scene was so effing good, man. So effing good. So it's yeah. Season 2 was definitely a step up. Like he's a badass, man. He is the main character. Like yeah. They are short. Yeah, they're only like 30-ish minutes, and there's no like season 1 was 12 episodes, season 2 was like 13 episodes. So it's not anything.
I kept watching the streams in Soul 11, so I'm like, what is Soul 11? Then I went and I seen it, and I was like, oh, it's an anime. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, you don't do that. Yeah,
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Except like they use like all the stereotypical voice actors. So like, the guy who plays Piccolo and Zoro is also in there. So it's like I just hear all these other characters, because they always do the same voice. So, but the animation was really solid. It looked really, really well done, and the story was really fun. So yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait for season 3. Yeah. Who won MLB in '94? Oh, right.
It was a mistake. It was supposed to be Montreal and White Sox were the 2 best teams. They were.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt that was going to happen. And half a season, or was it 50 games or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm. Ace said because once you start watching, you can't help but finish
it.
But you understand, guys. We were walking around for hours. I mean, if I could show you this pile of comic books and stuff like that we've gotten from like during this weekend, reading all this stuff, reading the books. I was buying creator books and stuff like that, trying to read that, trying to be prepared for all this other stuff. I was exhausted. So for him to stay up to 3:30 in the morning,
I went to bed. When I put the kids down to bed, I went to bed, and then I woke up around 12, and then kind of cleaned the house and stuff, and then I got stuck watching it. So Erica went to sleep like at 2, and I'm like, nope, I gotta stay up. Yeah, but it is good. I highly recommend it. I do say season 3 is gonna be crazy. Season 3 is gonna be really good. Can't wait. Do they sell physical media at C2E2? I saw some, but honestly, they looked a lot of like bootlegs.
Almost all the moves were bootlegs.
Probably, yeah.
I saw somebody had the
bought some.
Yeah, I bought Celebrity Deathmatch from there, the entire series a couple years ago.
Oh, nice. Nice. I did see a bootleg for that one pilot of Wonder Woman with
Adrian yes. Yeah. What's the name?
From
Adrian Palicki.
Yes. Yeah. I kind of looked at it. I mean, obviously it was like a bootleg, you saw it, but I was like, I kind of want to buy it. Let's see what could have been. All right. So I actually do want to know how y'all got Brian in that DeLorean. He did not fit on his way out. He almost like hit the door and his head.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It was so crazy. I was like, man, what the hell? It was like, you turn in. I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah, I can see that.
The way my femur works, it does not turn in at all. Like Brandman out there, like pointing out there. I'm like, man, he's in the car, got the wheel. I can't do nothing. I can pretend because I'm bigger than the damn car.
Yeah. All right. Just having a hard time giving his selfies. Well, that's why he's always holding the phone because he's the one he can get the distance.
Yeah, and you notice he has to have it slanted, right? So every time you notice it's not a slant, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I got this one picture of me and Allison Seeley Smith and my daughter. This is my oldest one, who's not as tall, but like she's maybe 5'3", 5'4". So I'm much bigger than she is. Like I'm much bigger. But
then you got a 3-for-1 because on the right, on your side, that's the voice of Jean Grey, and then on the left over, that's the voice of Bishop. So technically, you got them in there too. So.
It was funny because I came back by him and he was like, "Man, you look great. You look a bit like Bishop." I was like, "You are Bishop, dude. We talking about right now. You're the dude." So.
No, it's funny. When you went as Bishop, was that the day you seen John Boyega?
No, so I was static the day I saw John Boyega.
Okay, because I seen a thing on X where
it's like,
want to play Bishop. Yeah, I was like, did Brian have something to do with that?
No, so it was funny though because he talked about. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna be like James Gunn's Static, older Static, like James Gunn's." I was like, how the hell you know that?
Dude,
what do you know James Gunn is talking about?
He was like singing the song, and when you were walking up, like he knew Static. Like it wasn't just like a thing. Like he knew it. So yeah. But then he said that it was like
I was like, so are you? Do you know something about this whole Static? Is Static going to be? Are you going to be Static first, and then Static's going to be older in James Gunn's universe because it's already established? Is this what's going on?
So trying to get some.
I'd be good with it just for the fact that John Boyega is a very nice guy.
He was a very nice guy. He spent time with every person that came up there.
That's how you do it. That's just what makes me respect him even more. I've always been a fan of his anyway, but seeing that up close and see, that's like you're all right with me if you make the time for the fans like that.
And
you're
signing
engaging
everything.
like that.
he signed anything. He didn't care if it was Star Wars or what it was,
Yeah,
Star Wars is the worst.
He was shooting the shit with everyone. Like he was making time for everyone. Like you could tell that the guy took joy in being there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it justifies like the long ass line because it was moving slow because he was doing that. So when you got up there, it was like it wasn't like sign and then off you go.
You get to have a conversation.
Yeah. Slightly deviating off topic, but kind of staying on topic. I'd be good with him being Bishop. He's around a good enough age. He could bulk up a little bit. It's not like he's a small guy. It's not like he's
he's not dude. Small. He might be 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
It's right up there.
Lift a couple weights, gross.
Bulk up a little bit. I agree with you.
Bulk up just a bit.
He's not small either.
He's not small.
He's decently sized.
He's kind of not quite stocky, but roughly around Bryant's build.
I have a dude who's a little stocky. I don't know if you guys see this one right here. This guy right here. I'm like, good Lord. The gun show. That's what it is.
I may have gotten
Apple needed a fake suit.
Exactly.
Oh man. But all right. Did you do any slides or probably not?
Oh heck, I thought about you. I was like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, and I was watching Dramac. Dramac got blacked out for a little while for showing the clips like on YouTube. So I was like,
really?
Yeah,
I was actually watching Dre.
Like I think he was like live like an hour ago. Yeah. Him and Blue were talking about it probably like 2 hours ago at this point. So yeah, and they got blacked out for a little while for showing too much. So
I was like, oh, well,
that sucks. I mean, and it happens to everyone. I saw Kind of Funny. They were watching the Superman trailer and they got blacked out, and they're a fairly big channel, So
yeah.
But it's all good. We can still talk about it without showing any of the clips for now.
But if you do it early, do it on weekends when people are not paying attention. That's the one time to do it. But during the week when there's nothing else to do but just look at copyright strikes. Oh, someone got that. Click.
Exactly. Sheed coming in the house. What's up, Sheed?
So
what up, Sheed?
New profile pic too. Of his birthday profile pic.
Oh yes, exactly. That birthday.
Yeah. Awesome. But cool. I mean, when you just want to start right from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it was, as you said, it was very much like the game, but there's some things that were different. So start from the beginning, work our way around.
Yeah. So I don't want
B. What's up, B?
What's up,
B? What's up, man?
So it started off pretty much picks up right where last season left off. With Joel and Ellie talking. So we already got that part, and then it cuts to the Fireflies, or I guess with Abby and her friends burying all the dead and talking about that.
That's so new. That whole scene was
that
was I didn't recognize that from the game.
And you saw the emblems of the Firefly on each one of those things, and I was counting. I was like, shit, there's like 16.
Yeah.
So Joel went ham. He was like, you gonna go, and you gonna go, and you're gonna go. Man, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's good for people who haven't played the game to put that little thing in there to get a little feel of Abby first. I like that.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to Ace for $1.99 super chat. Saying Sinners is going to be amazing. Yes, I got my tickets Friday.
Thursday night, I'll be there.
Thursday night.
Yep.
But right before the show,
I'm
I
going
will
Friday.
be watching Sinners because Friday's Good Friday. I don't want to go to see Sinners on Good Friday.
I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say.
I didn't even think about that.
Easter Sunday, Good Friday, coming out. A movie coming out called Sinners.
I don't know if that's what I wanted to do.
I didn't even think about that. Well, here we'll give you one we don't play a lot. Give you that one. So appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat.
Always appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with what Anzo was saying. That whole scene was like help set up who Abby was, right off the bat, and her little group of people, so it's not like in the game, because in the game I feel like you can like boom, here's a new character, and then later on you could play through side stories. In the game, I think you start off you start off as Abby in the game, right?
And
or the game off as Abby, I believe. So
was it Abby? I can't remember.
I think it's Abby. I know you play Abby pretty early on in the
game.
I
don't know.
I don't know if it's starting off or not. It's been a while.
Did you? Yeah. Did you guys feel like they're trying to set? I think you talked about the tank that they try to set Abby up the same way they set up Joel. Like you felt sad about them losing that family member or her dad and his daughter, trying to feel sad with all that violence and trying to understand why they act the way they act. I feel like they're trying to set it up very similar to how season 1 was.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that, and it makes a lot of sense that because one of the things that you do in these shows is you kind of make the villain or the person supposed to be villain sympathetic, right? So you gave her a motivation as to why she's doing it. Now, whether it's wrong or not, some people will be like, yeah, I can understand that. So I could see them doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see as the story goes how people like Abby. So that I'm really curious about.
I just don't see her as physically imposing. Like, only reason you listen to her is because you want to listen to her. She's not going to do nothing about it. Like, if I walked away, she's not going to be able to, you're going to come with me. I'm like, throw you off the mountain. Go away from me. Like, she's not that, that physical, but she's intense. So she did a really good job at bringing that intensity. And that means you doing Abby a different way. You know? Instead of having that physical domination, you have this intensity about it. This very, I don't know if adrenaline or whatever it is. She was just different in herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, I think, setting up like the people around her. So she has her little gang, so kind of strength in numbers. I feel like what they're gonna really go after this season with her.
You're right. No, you just thought about it. You're right. We start off the game as Abby. You're right. Yeah, right. Okay. Because we don't know what the hell she's doing and why she hates Joel. We had no idea, and we find out later what happened,
what the connection,
who she was. Yeah, but we start off with her, and she just hates Joel. And you have no idea what the hell's going on. You're right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then it cuts 5 years later, did a Infinity War Endgame kind of thing. And then we get Ellie training. She's tatted up. She got some tats. I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to log into my damn HBO and I can't remember the login. So yeah, she's in training. She's kind of getting a little arrogant and cocky.
Yeah.
She was a pain in the ass the entire episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was the only one, but I know I told him I was like, she was so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, what? I know you're 19 years old and you think you know about everything and you hate your dad, but shut the hell up. No one cares. This is like, it was so annoying. I'm like, can you get over yourself? Just get over it right now. It was driving me nuts.
I agree with you. And I don't think like, because I went back and watched. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some of season 1, and she wasn't really as that annoying as she was in this first episode, right? And I guess that's the way she, and I guess she's gonna get better
She's very
throughout
much like
the
that in the
series.
game.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Mhm,
I
mhm.
can completely understand why they're doing that, but yeah, man, it's just like, oh, I was like, bruh, you kidding me?
I remember in the
Everything you
game,
said,
she's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
do the
annoying
exact
the whole
opposite.
game.
Like, fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think if I remember the game, almost everybody was annoying in that fucking game.
Really?
Because everyone's like, you're like, why are you making these decisions? Because you
Yeah.
know, and you
Mhm.
because you're allowing rage and hate to really like fester and build up and stuff like that. So the whole time it's like, no, just fucking leave it alone, man. Just leave it. But
Mhm.
no one knows how to
Mhm.
leave it alone. You know, and that's kind of obviously, there wouldn't be a story. People just left it. But I'm trying to remember if she already knows what Joel did. You know,
In the game,
um,
she does, but now
yeah,
she does.
she might.
She assumes she knows, but she doesn't really know.
Because it starts off with her saying like, "Hey, you're telling me the truth."
Mhm.
So, and he says
But she's-
yes. So does it start
She
off?
thinks that he's
the show with a
lying
lie.
about something, but I don't think she knows the full extent of what
Extent
happened
of the
yet.
lie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Well, I didn't
So,
just
I
take
mean,
you
it's been
away.
5
I
years.
killed everyone that was even associated,
you.
anyone near. I killed them all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Jesus. So bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then let's see what else we got going.
Hey, books, girls, and purrs. Thank you for jumping in.
What's up? Yeah, they get the
No.
barn scene. Then we get the
we get introduced to a couple characters too.
In the barn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dude she's fighting, I think, was he new?
No, I was talking about the leader. What's his name? The one who's going to be the new leader. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Dina's
he wasn't in
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't in season 1. I don't remember.
I don't think he was in season 1 because they're all older, right?
Yeah.
They're all older, so you wouldn't remember exactly what's going on, from season 1.
Oh,
What up, Dre?
Trey, what's going on?
Yo.
We're just talking about you. That's why
his
your review with Blue earlier. So
his recap.
Yeah.
What's up, Dre? But yeah. So I mean, we got that. We got the fight scene. We get a couple more people introduced, like other players. But then the big thing is, they're trying to fix that the pipe. You see the tree branches in. Which I thought, like, okay, like no one's gonna put one and one together.
Yeah, not that. But what did Joel say? He told him, he was like, "Hey, make sure you pull out the roots.
Out.
Make sure you don't have to worry about it because you don't want it to catch fire and then go throughout the entire town. The entire town catches fire because you didn't pull out the roots, you didn't take care, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. And once again, because these are all kids, they don't listen. Dina doesn't do what he asked her to do. She gets sidetracked with the story, talking about Ellie, and sidetracked.
Well, yeah, she was there for other reasons. She wasn't there.
He was still the foreman, and he still. She didn't care about the electronic stuff, the breaker, none of that shit. But she should at least went back and made sure that those roots in that pipe weren't just going to be out there. Like, we not know where we live.
Facts.
I know. People get lazy and forget.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Hey, he ain't wrong.
No, he's definitely not.
She just broke up with her boyfriend, so she's like, "Hey."
And he said he knew. He was like, "No, we're not getting back together."
Yeah.
And she was like, "How do you know? Why do you know that we're not getting back together?"
I know.
He knew.
I know. Yeah. Exactly. But I did like that the scene where he's fixing the breakers, because it shows like it's like almost like he's changing, like he's being domesticated, where, like you said, he's becoming a foreman, so he's becoming like the town repairman, so he's trying to get away from that murderous past he had for so long. But
do you think he forgot that he was a refugee at one point in time? Like, you when you remember you're saying all these bad things about other people, when you forget that you were one of those people, like without them, you wouldn't be in this town.
Yeah, it seemed like he might have needed to be reminded of that. You know what I mean? When she told him, like, remember, you were one of them too. So it's possible because you get comfortable in a certain place, you know what I mean? And you forget like where you came from now because everything else is so much more important. And sometimes you need to be reminded, like, hey, listen, you were that person too. So I do agree with you. I think he needed to be reminded of it.
Yeah, and then we talked about Jesse. That was Dina's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Because I wonder if he had
Maybe he had what?
Ooh, looks like he might have froze.
Yeah, I was like, I think he might have froze. I was like, he looked real intense out. I was like,
yeah.
All right, am I good?
You're back.
Okay. Yeah. Try to do too many things. Shit, I was gonna say something I forgot.
Oh, but
because I was gonna say with him being like a refugee, he felt like he was, because his brother was in charge of the town, so he's like, but I had a spot, right? So it's like he's not a normal refugee. He had privileges before he even came into the town.
I forgot, yeah.
But at the end of the day, he still was an outsider. Because he went from outside to being one of the leaders of the town. So
be part of it. He's there with his brother Tommy, and Tommy kind of fell right back into being the younger brother, just letting Joel be Joel. He still calls all the shots, but Tommy's that type of personality because you got Marla too, who runs everything too. So he's just going back and forth with whoever wants to do it. He said, "Yes, yeah, that's what I'm do." Even when he was with Ellie, so you see him taking her out, target practice, kind of going through with the monsters, shooting them, and then when he meets back with Joel, he's like, "Oh, you went out there by yourself?" And he was like, "Yeah." Yeah. He's too afraid to tell Joel that Ellie was out there with him,
But you see, that was one of the parts where Ellie kind of like bullied herself to go on I was like, you know what I mean? Like, ugh. But he did say you're more like Joel than, like you're not. And I guess because he's that passive guy, he let her pretty much bully him into that,
Yeah.
I know she's 19 years old, but she needs a belt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
I'm not one who just say you need to go all willy-nilly, but
100%.
She might be that one.
Yeah, there's no arguing. I said no. That's it. Done. End of story. Don't ask me again. It's no.
Oh man, she's annoying.
She's so cocky because she knows she's immune. So she's like, oh, why risk somebody else? That type of thing. So it's like she kind of uses logic, but she does it in just the most childish way possible. Like,
I don't know if it's logic at all. I think she just wants to push the envelope.
Yeah, very childish and callous and big-headed.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because after what happened in the first season, you would think even though she's been through a lot, she would still remember those things and be a little bit humble, right? You still just going into situations, like just rushing into them, like when they rushed into the building like that. You know what I mean? It's like you remember your first friend died when you tried to do some stuff like that. So should be a little bit more cautious. You know what I mean?
It's not about you. It's about the people around you. And the decisions that you make affect everyone else. So you got the other people that are on the horse. You got Dina with you. The decisions you make that are half-assed affects all of them. And she doesn't, but that's maturity. She has no maturity at all.
No. Because I mean, but does part of that fall on Joel for like, I don't want to say baby, but overprotecting a little bit? You know, like you one with her headspace where she's like, oh, I'm immune, so I could I'm invincible in a sense. Plus her being 19 with so hormones and shit, and then plus like she knowing that Joe's always gonna be there. You know, Joe's got her back no matter what, even if she's mad at him. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a combination of all that stuff that equals her being this little arrogant, little shit.
I got a rule: when you turn 18, it's on you, bro. That's a rule. That's a rule in my family. It's a rule that we stand by. Once you turn 18, it's on you. All the other stuff goes out the window. You're an adult, so it is on you officially. So I think she has a problem and she needs to get over that stuff. And I can't blame Joel. I can't blame the town. I can't blame any of them for feeding into it because she's her own person at this time.
And my dad had the same rule. Like when you turn 18, all bets are off, especially if you're not like in school or anything like that. You get not a red cent from me. You got to earn it yourself. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you have to have that kind of a tough love. And I don't know. It just none of the stuff she went through seemed like it sunk in. And it's just like she reverted and doing all these crazy stuff. I wasn't feeling that too much.
I felt like Joel was just trying to keep boundaries around her. Not try because you can't tell her what to do because you meet a contrarian, they're going to do the exact opposite of what you want them to do. That's a contrarian. That's just what they do. But you try to put safety boundaries around them so they don't fuck up everything. So I felt like that's what Abby doesn't seem to understand. You can't tell me what to do. Well, you would have killed. Dina would have died if you would, did this. If you weren't immune, this would have happened. If you could have ruined the entire town if you didn't do this because you're not taking care of things. And he's trying to keep her in bounds so she can learn some things. He's just trying to keep boundaries around her, and she's oblivious to it. What do you think? Even at the end scene, what do you think is going to happen if you yelling at this grown man? What do you think you're going to do?
Facts.
What do you? Shut the fuck up! I like you. Next time, let this beat your ass. How about that? Then what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to be the person who loves you and watch you get your ass whooped. Like, what am I supposed to do?
And that's the thing, you know what I mean? It's like, even with that scene, I get it. You mad at him, but like, you don't do that. Like, the man this guy was attacking you, he called you names, stuff, your father was defending you or whatever, your guardian was defending you. Yeah, you could have just walked away. You know what I mean? But now she had to embarrass him in front of everybody.
Embarrass him from everybody.
Yeah. She's super annoying, but yeah. Let me hit some of these comments real quick before we go on to the next scene.
100%.
Delta Dan said, I counted 2. Joe's the real one / daughter from another mother dad. Well,
dude, that's a lot of people to kill. 15, 16 people that you just killed by yourself.
I mean, he went full like Terminator. The show did it so well too. The show did it so well in season 1 of him just going on this murder spree.
But he didn't just kill people that had guns. He killed doctors, the best doctors in the world. He killed all of them, all the best nurses in the world that could probably get a cure. Dead. He took no chances. All y'all gone. All y'all. Matter of fact, if Abby was there, she would have been dead too. How about that? I thought she was on the outside. She wasn't there. You know what I mean?
They said it in season 1 that she was in the room. Like, because he didn't kill everybody. There's a lot when she was on the table, he didn't kill all the nurses. He killed the doctor because the doctor was being a dick. But they said in like one of the podcasty kind of things that Abby was there, which makes sense because how she knew exactly how he looked. He knew, all the scars and everything.
We don't know. But she also said we don't know how old he really was. If we don't know how he really looks, if we don't know if he has a real beard. I didn't think she had her eyes on him at all.
I think because then she goes, he has a scar here. He's this much. He's that high. He has gray hair. Oh yeah, and he's attractive. You know, he's a good looking.
But then there was conflicting reports, so they didn't know. Because I feel like she didn't actually see him.
Because didn't at one point he says like, "Oh, we only have a name to go off of," or something like that.
We have no idea. This is someone else's description.
Joel or Joel. So,
yeah.
But then she turns around and described him perfectly. So
no, but she said multiple things. So she like there was like, we don't know if he had a beard, a real beard or not. We don't know if what race he really was or not. They talked about those like she like they're saying other things.
All right, let's keep going. Like I said, do you guys see the after show of the episode where the cast and director talk about the episode? I haven't yet. I didn't get a chance to. I'll probably watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, Abby is not in the room. I just read that. Abby's not in the room.
Okay. So I didn't play the game, but I saw something saying that the second game jumps around and this season timeline is going to be way different. The second game does a time skip as well. But it doesn't jump around like timeline wise. Like it jumps around between different characters for sure. You know, a lot more than the first game did, but I don't think
they introduced a lot of new characters, and then it's a lot of different, you know, like scenes, and they're going to introduce a lot of different more areas because we're not going to be stuck in the same places all the time. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yep.
Yeah, Mom Bear don't do zombie movies. yeah, we know that.
So I don't play with them, you know, but it's too realistic.
I'm gonna save the Catherine O'Hara because we're getting into that in a little bit.
Which was really interesting, even with Joel again.
He wasn't in season 1. He gets introduced in the game, and same with
Jesse.
Yeah.
So Jesse wasn't in season 1. Yeah, I don't think so.
Where we at? Yeah, didn't want that. You want to? Dramatic, you called it.
Pepper that steak.
Oh man. Collectors is out for the night. And I have you guys some questions in the chat, but you must be reading them later. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna probably do a few scenes and then hit chat. So sorry about that, Collector, but appreciate you coming in. Delta Dan said that's why Joel is still making decisions for her. This isn't regular life. I don't think it's Joel's fault. You got to grow up way faster in this world. Yeah, you got to be smart. And I feel like she's not making good decisions.
I am not a Ellie's fan. I am not at all. But isn't it the town also has to realize that they can't just let her get away with shit too? Like, the town is afraid of him, like afraid of Joel.
Yeah, everything Ellie did or said, every smart assy comment or every, you know, like kind of reckless action she made, everyone was just letting it fly. Put your foot down, you
facts. Like, who's the adult here? You know what I mean? You're just letting her run around and say and do whatever you wanted.
Whatever she feels like.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
But I think it's like what Brian said. It's because of Joel. They're afraid of Joel. You know, like it's not her herself, but it's and his brother says the same thing. You know, when he's like, "Oh," he goes, "I can't," you know, tell Joel. You know, like he already telling Ellie, he's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna break this news to him. Like he's gonna kill me." You know, so
he might
they're
literally
all afraid of him.
He might literally kill me. Like we all know what happened. He just killed everybody.
Facts.
Yeah. He's saying agree facts. Saying, "Gee, that's nasty." My Cleveland Brown. All right. Cool. And then let's move on to the next scene. So the next scene is pretty much you get a truckload of refugees coming in into the town. You know, and then this is where we get the whole conversation between his sister-in-law, I forgot her name, and Marla, and Joel trying to figure out how to fix the town quick enough, you know. So She wants to help everybody, and he's like, "Hey, can't do that."
Did you catch that? He was like, "I'm gonna turn this little knob up, and we're gonna be able to fix it even faster." And it's just like it's in the game. There's this scene where you have to find like the right thing for the bank. It's like a thing you bring to a vault. It's the same thing. I could turn into it. It was definitely a kind of showing that's a shout out to that game, to that part of the game.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a interesting scene because he gets to play around with his nephew pretty much, and kind of remember is like, hey, we're not the only ones in this world. We need to start looking out for each other a little bit.
Ace that was hilarious. He says they're afraid because I said earlier Joel is ready to eat for anyone because everyone can get it.
That's funny.
I'm gonna kill your dog. I'm gonna kill the cat. I'm killing everybody. Y'all, no one getting out.
I'm about to find out too. Well, said Brandman's not gonna make it to the show.
You're probably right. My hardest.
Yeah. But I mean, you kind of feel for Joel. Because then Joe goes. He's just being truth. What's up? And so now we finally get Catherine O'Hara's character, and their conversation was great. Catherine O'Hara being the therapist. What do you guys think about that whole scene with her telling him her feelings and trying to get him to say what he can't say? You know what I mean?
I'll let you guys go first because
it was probably one of the best parts of the show. It was it almost kind of felt like exposition but done right. It was almost like a refresher for people who have been following the show, or if you happen to just now be getting into the show, it was enough to catch you up. I think that it really tells you, it really sums up everything you need to know about Joel, especially at this point in time with the time jump. Now everything's impacted him. I think that
it's almost like Kevin.
Yeah. Is Catherine a kid in Chicago?
That's like what I was say. Oh man.
But yeah, it was easily, to me, it was the standout scene of the show.
Of the episode, yeah. I agree.
Or of the episode,
I agree. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%, Brandman. I thought that was a great conversation, right? And it's like I was like, ooh, she's like going off on him. And then she explained she's doing it because you're right. You have to let go. You know what I mean? You're holding on to something and it's driving a wedge between you and Ellie. You have to let it out. You have to tell somebody. And she said, listen, there's one of the hardest things I have to do. I'm going to tell you, but it's out there. And now we can move on from it. So I really appreciated that conversation. I thought it was well done.
How are you, Brian?
I have a few thoughts. First off, she's the one that said that, he's been having this conversation with her. This is like the 5th session, right? So she told him, for let Ellie to go move into the garage and give her own space and all this other crap. So he's already shared stuff and she's been telling her to do these stuff and she says, I hate your guts. So now it made me think, was she telling the wrong crap? Was she intentionally saying things that drove a wedge in between him and Ellie? So now you're trying to talk about Ellie, but I won't trust none of the shit that you're talking about now. So I thought that was interesting in itself. Then as a therapist, for me to share with you my innermost feelings about a certain subject, for you to turn around and tell me about how you're feeling, how would I ever open up to you? I thought that was really interesting. Then even what she said, you killed my husband, Eugene. Eugene was also part of the settlement, was also part of he was a Firefly. He was part of that. So like So did he kill him because he might have found out what was going to happen and he killed him to cover his tracks? I thought that was really interesting in itself too. So how far was Joel go? Was he still trying to kill everybody no matter what was going on? So that was crazy. And then what she said, I thought this, it was just, as a therapist, I thought it was out of bounds. And once again, my father's therapist, so I'm thinking it from that point of view. I thought that was really out of bounds. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, she was opening up to him, and she was telling some truth and trying to get him to open up and tell his truth." But that's not what your job is if you're a therapist. That's not how you get someone open up. I think it was almost intentional to hurt him. I wonder if everything that she said was intentional to hurt him.
So
yeah, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was gonna say I hear what you're saying 100%, but we living in a zombie apocalypse. All that therapist stuff that you're supposed to do goes out the window. At this point, you have to do what you can to fix somebody or to fix a situation. So yeah, was she like a real therapist, like in the real world, or was she just a therapist in this town? You know what I mean? That's the question you got to ask too, because she's not like a real licensed therapist.
I think she is a real licensed therapist.
Is she? Okay.
I thought, they were talking about it or something.
She's a doctor, I believe. She's a real licensed therapist.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, I had the same initial thought after she, said like, "I hate you." I was like, man, is she like messing with him like even beforehand? But then I'm like, she's like, "Hey, give her space, give her time." And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what you need to do, like let them figure it out, but still keep them safe. So you're in the garage. It's not like you're, out in the wilderness. So, but also I felt like it was more of her therapy session this time than his, because it's the anniversary. She's like, it's the first time, like, we haven't been together on whatever, I forgot what day it was, like
her birthday.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, so she was. It was more for her than for him because she's like, I'm drinking and I'm telling you my feelings, and so it was more for her, I think, than him a little bit. And I'm like,
give my weed back then.
Right? I mean, it's not very professional, but now you're living in this different world, and who does she have to talk to? Besides the person who did it to her. So
we also don't know if he. I think Joel killed him because he found out something about fireflies. But I think
I was looking it up and I couldn't figure. Like I couldn't see
Eugene
where
wasn't
Eugene
in. Eugene wasn't in the game as far as I don't think I've ever seen him.
I don't know.
So from what I've seen from the video is whenever you went to go read one of those files.
It was a file.
The files were about Eugene, but in the game, Joel wasn't the one that killed Eugene. So, so that's something that they actually changed too. But I feel like the change makes kind of sense, with the dynamic and stuff like that. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, it definitely works for the show. It works for the show.
Yeah, because I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder if he was getting close to telling her the truth. But then she said that, and he's like, "Oh, there's no way I can ever tell you the truth now. As bad as you want it, and as bad as I probably should tell somebody." He goes, "I cannot tell you. After what the story you just told me, like, there's no way. So it's like she kind of like shot herself in the foot by, giving herself a therapy session."
She did, but I can kind of understand too as a therapist because you're supposed to open up and be honest. And Joel hasn't been honest. So it's like, how can I help you if you're not being honest, if you're not telling me what the situation is? So if you don't tell me, I can't help you. And she knew he was hiding something. Yeah, I'd probably get fed up too. You know what I mean? Like,
it's the fifth one. So it's not like it's a long one. Y'all see Good Will Hunting, Robert Williams waited months. Like, I don't know. like, it's not like this is not like it was like, wait, 5 45-minute periods. I'm not gonna talk to you about shit. I don't know you like that. Like, it's not like you're asking him to open up. I didn't think that made any sense to me. I'm like, man, You could take your weed and your alcohol and talk to me during my therapy session and kick rocks. I'm not gonna open up to you at all. This, why would I do that? So, that's just...
I can see that too. A trust value. You know what I mean? I had just started coming to see you. I don't trust you yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? To tell you all the information. So I can see that too. I can see that too.
Yeah.
Tell me your innermost problem. No.
I don't want
to. Yeah. But I mean, it also shows like how different Joe is, because we already saw him like he's doing the repair stuff, and now he's doing therapy. Like, and it seems like he's doing therapy for Ellie. You know what I mean? Not really for himself, which is because you should do therapy for yourself, but he's trying to either better himself or trying to figure out a why to get closer to her kind of thing.
And he's still bearing that guilt with, what happened in the season 1 finale. Pedro Pascal is pretty good with like kind of facial acting without really saying anything, so you can kind of see that you can really
and the hurt,
the pain and the guilt as well. And I think he really sold that, ever since the season finale of season 1 of the last season. So I think he really, if anything, kind of amped it up in a subtle kind of way with during that scene. He's done a great job with that. So
I mean, he is a good actor,
as much as we joke
about all this shit,
as much as we joke about him showing up in everything, he's good. He's worth every penny,
All these comments. We'll see.
Some comments real quick. A lot of you making dirty jokes or they're Home Alone jokes at this point. Tony said, I feel Elise is still immature and always feels like she could has to prove she's not weak.
Yeah.
And the people that do that usually you have a reason and you show your weakness and your 100. Lack of confidence by doing those things.
Yeah, agreed.
It would be funny. Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song was in the show.
He's in Seattle. Yeah,
right. He said, "Look, I would be in pill form fooling with me. I would."
Yeah, exactly, man. I was like, look, we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah. The therapist in the apocalypse, so very different,
than in real world. 100%.
Yeah. Said the therapist did kind of look happy after Joel had the fight. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. She had a little side look. I don't know.
I don't trust her, and I wouldn't trust her then.
Yeah. And Dre said she's getting high and drunk, and she's the therapist. Yep. That's why I think that was her session. She goes, "Listen, you're gonna sit down, and I got some shit to tell you."
So I ain't gotta listen to nothing you got to say. Like, there's no reason for me to sit there and listen to that. Like, I'm already depressed as hell. You see this 19-year-old pain in the ass I gotta deal with. I ain't gonna sit here and listen to your shit.
I think it just adds to the guilt, like that's just being piled on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like he looks run down, way more than he did in season 1. So that guilt carrying.
He needs
for 5 years.
Giving her some truthness, man. I would have told Elliot, look, you keep on talking, I'm gonna let your ass be by yourself. You go live out in the woods and go do what you gonna go do. You can figure this shit out too. All right. Hey, everybody, she got all this big shit she talking right now. I'm good. Don't worry about me. You deal with her the way you want to deal with her. Don't worry about me. She thinks she got all the fucking answers. Let her deal with this. She needs some hard truths. Shut the hell up. Who you think you're talking to?
Facts. Facts.
You keep saying I'm not your daddy. You're right. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Get her out of the garage. My garage.
Facts.
That's funny. Man. It said she's getting high and drunk and she's the therapist. I'm just I'm
just here so I don't get fined. Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, in the zombie apocalypse, high is probably the standard.
100.
But now being my therapist, then why am I talking to you? I'll talk to the bartender. I'm not talking
I know,
to
right?
you.
At that point. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to be high when while the clickers are out there. You're like, is that clicker? Or you find out you're just stepping on a rock the whole time or some shit.
Nah, Dre Mac, that's the time I want to be high, because all of this crap that's going around me, I just want to smoke some of that green and be good. Trust me. I told you guys can go fight that stuff. Go. You know what I mean? I ain't doing no patrols. I'm going to stay right here. You guys make sure everything is safe. I'm going to smoke this bag of weed and we good.
I'm pull off like a leaf from the zombie tree.
You know?
Delta said Pedro was
killing it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I know some of my best conversations I had when I was high. Yep. Getting pew-pewed in the head is just encouragement to take therapy seriously, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. 100%. Who you think you talk to? You know, you have a 19-year-olds are like the worst people in the world. They're literally the worst people in the world. No one wants to be parents to 19-year-old. You know, and then you gonna talk all this ish, and you gonna try to embarrass me in front of us. You about to get hands too. You think you want someone to not to pull punches? All right, come on, let's go have a conversation.
Facts.
I'm telling you all about all your little secrets, your little emo videotapes, and you see all the cassette tapes she got. She think she got that on her own. You got a job. You think people just giving you stuff? People are just giving you stuff because of my name. No. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Earn this your own.
Bring up the next scene, because the next scene is you're in her little room, you know, her garage area. You know, she's like cleaning her gun and got all the music playing and stuff like that. So she's definitely like this angsty fucking teenager, you know, with cleaning weapons and shit. So it was like, you know, tattoos. They show all her tattoos
with a big frigging forearm tat, right?
You know, covering up the scar. You know,
Yeah.
So yeah. And then yeah, they go out of their way to really show like, oh, she's that annoying teenager who thinks
they really emphasize the time jump when it comes to her in particular.
Yeah.
Joel is well, we already kind of touched on it. I don't want to say that he's more or less the same, but you know, his character's developed a little bit more, but you know, she's very much like you said, the angsty, rebellious teen.
And it just the cherry on top is she knows she's immune, so she's just more cocky than normal 19-year-old.
She is not immune to these hands. Like, I don't understand what y'all talking about. Like, her immunity is for the monsters. They're not with me.
Facts.
You're not immune to the cold. Are you immune to the cold? Let's go find out. You know, get the hell out. You know, it's different when she's 19. She's not 13. I treat a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 15-year-old a different way than I treat a 19, 20, 21-year-old. 19, 20, 21-year-old, you said, get the fuck out.
100.
Go figure out the world on your own.
And when you have one, Brian is speaking 100% facts. Because them ages between 18 and 19 with my kid, oh my Lord. Yeah,
they can know the world. It's like, no, you don't know nothing. And then you want me to continue to feed you and give you stuff, and people do things because of me for you.
Facts.
Nah, just no.
But isn't that the difference in this world? Because like, if you send her out, that's death. That's death, guaranteed death. You know, it's not like, hey, go figure out college.
She be in the town. Like, they extended for all these other refugees. She could go find her own house and learn how to heat that shit up and learn how to get some running water like that. I ain't coming in that house doing all the hard work, figuring it all out for you. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's providing her with stuff, and she doesn't have to work hard to figure out the water. She doesn't have to work hard to figure out how to heat stuff up. She doesn't have to work hard to figure out having a gun or people training with her or having these relationships. You can go find a house in this town. You can go find somewhere else. He's providing all this other stuff that she has no idea. And she's going to find out real soon how cold this world is.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so keep going with this scene. So in the scene, she's let me bring this up. I saw Dre Mac. She pissed me off cleaning that gun with all that oil. So like, wipe it off. It's just dripping everywhere. She's sitting there rubbing shit, playing with her knife on the side. Yeah. So they're getting ready. So Dina comes over, and they're both gonna go on that not surveillance.
It's supposed to be surveillance.
Surveillance.
It was a surveillance patrol. That's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm. They're going scoop around, see what's going on out there. So, and then here's where you start to feel the like, what's going on between Ellie and Dina a little bit, But the one thing I thought was kind of cool was she still's got the knife. So for as angry as she is with Joel, she still has that thing, that Joe gave her. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like that reminder of Joel is there, kind of stuff. That protector. Especially it being like a knife. I don't know. But
she needs a reminder.
And
you know what's just funny? Because we all know, at least I know what's going to happen. Like, it's going to be too late.
Pretty much.
Be annoying as shit as you want, and then all of a sudden it's the darkest before the dawn, and you're like, oh, I always have time, and you don't.
Yeah, but pretty much after they leave, they just get on their horses and start going. There's some dialogue. Everyone's talking. Jesse's trying to call orders, and they call him out like, "Why are you trying to be the boss? You're only like what, 3 years older than us?
4 years older.
4 years older. Yeah. So, yeah, but then they run into the trouble. Obviously they start seeing the blood on the floor. Do they start hearing things? They start hearing the scream, or they just see all the dead bodies and dead blood. And all that
they
stuff?
noticed all the ones that are dead, and then they see the blood is dragged, and they saw the bear, and you realize you had to have more, so there has to be more in this house. So they kind of like go in the house. They said we should just go back and tell patrol about what's going on, and someone else come in. We could come in with bigger numbers. Well. Abby wants to go. Ellie wants to go do her thing. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna check it out. Let's go. And of course, Dina goes in there with her, and they say, "Oh, it's two of them in there." So now 1-on-1. So Ellie goes and kills the first one, and then they don't see the second one. And as they're coming back, she falls through the floor.
Yeah.
And Dina's like, "Look, I need to go find some stairs. I don't know where anything is." But. Then it's funny because Ellie's now 1-on-1 with this other monster that she knows is around. But she's so used to the monsters. This is the first time we see the monsters not run straight towards you.
Yep.
They're starting to change. And she and you can tell like with Ellie like screaming at it, like run at me, and it's not, and it kind of, I think it throws her off. Because like exactly what you said earlier, you think you know everything because you're 19-year-old and you're like, oh, I know how these zombies operate. And then boom, now you're introduced with a new one. And you saw her inexperience in that situation, And
you see how bad of a hunter she truly is because she thought she knew everything. She's only just looking to shoot instead of listening, using her other senses and understanding how to really hunt. Joel in that situation would have killed the shit out of that monster. Like he
would like sniff the ground and listen to the wind, all that shit. Yeah.
But no, not Ellie. She's doing all these things, and that's why she gets big. Because everyone knows that. Look behind you, and by the time look behind, it's too late. Like then you are a terrible hunter. I'm a black man. You know what I know? I'm never gonna let anyone sneak up behind me. If I'm going to be waiting, I'm going to be on the wall, so nothing behind me. I'm going to be looking. I'm not going to go looking for it. If I'm a real hunter, I know I can't let someone behind me.
Facts.
But she doesn't know that because she's too immature and have no life experiences.
Yeah. She runs around the corner, which I'm like, don't do that. I mean, even come on, you don't run around the corner. Like, the hell you doing? You know? So yeah, like, but it brings up everything you just said. You know, this 19-year-old who thinks she knows everything, she runs the world. I can't get infected, blah blah blah, and then boom, introduced with a new kind of zombie. You know, that's you know, not aggressive, you know, and it's being smart and doing different shit, and it throws her off her game, you know, and she's not who she thinks she is, you know, and it's shown.
Even when she's seen it, she's walking forward. I'm like, look behind you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just look in one direction. You got to look in every direction. And she was just walking straight. And another issue that I had with that scene is like, what were the people outside doing? Because they were in there for a minute, right? They just sat out there and waited.
What the hell were they doing?
No, they said, you gonna be stupid. You gonna be stupid on your own. We're gonna be over here in the safe place.
Facts.
You know, but once again, like, you know, you eliminate one place. You don't let someone get behind you. You don't look for something that way. You always eliminate. I know behind me no one's there, so I'm going to stay back. Yeah. You know, the same way I'm going to be if I'm ever in a situation where I never let anyone get behind me. You don't do that. That's in the rule book.
Yeah. That's like,
one-on-one. Don't let anyone behind you. You know, every time I'm on here with you guys with a camera, and I still go every so often just because. You know what I'm just saying? Why would you get into the middle of the room? It's a bad decision that she was making, especially when she didn't know where things were.
Yeah, just walking, not clearing corners, and then that's what happened. You know, she walked past the corner, and it was in the dog crate or whatever. You know, and you know, so it just you would think she would have learned her lesson.
Stormtrooper,
just shooting that shit. Don't even know where anything's at. Oh man! So here, before we move on, we get some more comments in here because the next scene is kind of a big one. They said if Joel showed that he didn't care about her anymore, they would panic and start to wise up.
Exactly, but sometimes you have to let them be on their own. It's cold out there in the world.
She said I can't stand my daughter when she turned 19. Oh man.
I'm telling you, man, I think about now. So when you get older, you go back to the way you were. Oh, I was an asshole at that age too. You don't know nothing. You know, it's 20 years ago, I thought I knew everything. I had the world figured out, and you know nothing. But now when you think you have this chip on your shoulder like she does, you need to get knocked back down to reality.
Yeah. And you would have thought something like she just did, you know, with that new zombie would have like, oh shit, I'm not ready. But never learn until it's too late. So,
and that's it. Her recklessness got her bit. You know what I mean? Now, what if she was, if her friend was down there and her friend got bit? You know what I mean? So that shows the recklessness that she has. And I guess it's to show that she's like that and to build her character, that it changes throughout the season where she's not as reckless and she cares a little bit more. But right now, she just, you too much. You're doing too much.
Yeah. Dre said, mine are 20, 19, 17, 12, 10. Damn. They all can be in pill form fooling with me. Man, you got 19, you got 20, 19, 17. Man, that right there is just.
And Dre Mac, you ain't even that old, bro. You know what I mean?
You know what? Honestly, I would have been like, look, what's wrong with you? I'm not doing it anymore. No more. You can't do this.
You know what? To be honest with you, you could say that, but that thing has a mind of its own, and what it wants. You know what I mean?
You're so right. Dre, that's not old, bro. I'm 44.
That's not.
I'm 44. That's not old, Dre.
I'm 40 and I got a 4 and not even a 4, a 2 and a 8-month-old. So
Yeah, no.
I'm like way
you're crazy.
I'm way behind.
I would not start over now. My youngest is an 8-year-old. I'm not starting over.
Yeah.
I got one. He's 26 years old. I'm good. That's it. I'm good.
I have none.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
I'll sell you one if you need one, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and you can give it back if you'll be like, I know, you know what? A buyer's remorse here. Right, take it back.
One day with my daughter, you were like, no.
I'm fixed. Only Jesus himself can deliver me a child. A miracle. Nothing shorter than a miracle. That's funny.
I was getting my cardio and boom, kids.
I feel you.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, that's that boy.
Yeah, age 45 with a 14-year-old.
So I'm good to go. I understand. That's it.
14 years old, though, that's the start of it. That's the start. You like in the beginning stages. You got a few more years, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, what did I do?"
I want to have 2 right around the same age,
Like at
following each other in time.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's so bad, but it's okay. I have one that I know is going to cause me all the problems. All the problems.
You can tell already, eh?
Oh my god! Like talking to her now, it drives me nuts. So I'm like, man, I won't need like Jesus. I need Jesus to come down and pray for me daily. I need to pray to him to come down and anoint me. That's what he needs to stop me from killing this kid. I know what's going to happen. Oh my god!
If you have at least one that has like a that's not crazy, like that's not gonna like do the crazy things. Hopefully, I can talk him down half of the time.
Yeah.
That's why I have one, and I know the other one is going to be the worst.
He said, "Oh no, she's a pain in my ass now." I feel you, Ace. I feel you, brother.
Give 5 more years. Get that 5 years later jump, like in the show.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Yeah.
Delta said Joe and his brother would have made that easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. That would not
the
be
way
happening.
They would have planned. They would have hunted the right way. They would have eliminated everything from behind. You would clear all the corners before you start moving out to the next step. You don't do things without doing. But she was just in the middle, like I can do all these things. I'm good. No one's gonna mess. But she was scared when she's in the middle of it. You saw the fear.
Yeah.
And what happened
when it jumped on her? Yeah, you could see that she was scared. Yeah.
Oh, she was panicking. She was just. If that gun wasn't on her hip, probably dead.
I mean, she'll be dead if she was anyone else getting bit in the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bear said,
"The Chibi
Bear's a mini me. Let me help." Oh man, he said that's my 10-year-old. He listens and hangs out. And don't get on my nerves until he wants to re-up on Roblox. No. Well, right now you can hang that over his head. Like, nope. Be bad. No more Roblox. No more V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids go crazy with Roblox.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. But I think Delta Dan saying like that. Joe and his brother would have. Being good because in the next scene is the I guess like I don't know the council of the village or whatever. They're interviewing or kind of talking to Ellie and Dina, and they're talking about like what happened, and she's explaining like it's a new monster, blah blah blah. And then I always forget Joe's brother, his name
Tommy.
Yes, there you go. Tommy was like said something like, oh, me and Joel, like that wouldn't happen with me and Joel, or something along those lines. I forgot what exactly he said.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, it wouldn't."
Yeah. And he's
Yeah,
like, oh no, it's not. He goes, it's different. And she goes, oh, how's it different? And
I looked at Marla and said, because I've been through this shit. I'm a hunter. I understand and I'm older. I don't just make dumbass decisions. I was sitting right in front of her. Someone needs to speak some facts to her, but everyone's afraid to say anything, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I said, because I'm a grown ass man. You know what I mean? That's why it would have been different.
Well, I don't know if he was getting at like, oh, because we're family. You know what I mean? And that's what I thought he was gonna kind of get at. So it's different because we're family, you know, like we know each other. We grew up together, like we know each other. We're, you know, whereas like you're brought in, you know.
I thought Marla was saying more because she assumed that they're saying because they're men. Those girls.
It was definitely like
girls. It was a male female thing, and it's not that. It's hey, I'm a man. I'm 40, and you're 19 years old. That's a big difference. I have life experience. I've hunted. I've dealt with this for all this time. You were born into. I went through all these things.
Yeah.
So it was an intense scene, you know, because like one, they knew Dina was lying right off the bat, like
I saw it.
But Marla like believed Ellie though.
Yeah, and she was right. Yeah. I mean, Ellie definitely talked about what was, except for the fact that she got bit, but that's because no one's going to say anything about that because they all trying to hide it.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that Marla actually did more harm than good in that situation. Which was interesting, you know. Looking at it as they always is men against women instead of thinking it's children versus adults.
Yeah.
Also here I was looking, I'm like, oh wait, I know exactly the reference you were saying. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah. That's pretty much Tommy. So.
That was my response. I already know that's how I would have responded. I would look at him like, you know how old I am, you know how old she is, and you've seen the stupid shit she does. Like, no one wants to speak facts.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's also the difference between experience and someone with not experience. Experience know not only how to handle the situation, but they also know the situation is not safe, so they don't put themselves in unnecessarily jeopardy like that. Where somebody who like her, like you said, has a chip on her shoulder, so she has to prove, she like jumps in on everything all the time, you know. So.
Because that's why she took off the patrol in the first place, right? Because Tommy said you guys did some reckless stuff, you know what I mean? So Joe was like, no. So they already know she's reckless, and Brian is right. In that council meeting, should have been more reprimanding her for the stuff she did, you know?
Yeah. Like, listen, this is why I didn't want you coming on the first place.
Yeah.
You just proved my point. Now you're on gate duty for the next month or some shit. I don't know.
Exactly.
Now she thinks that she can just get away with whatever she wants to. And this is what keeps on escalating. Her actions are escalating because of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just gonna skip a little bit. So so they go there, Marla's talking to him.
I mean, now they're getting ready for the dance. Everyone's kind of getting ready for the dance. It was interesting because before Dina was asking Ellie, "Hey, are you going to the dance?" And she's like, "No, not really. Are you going to take anyone?" She was like, "No, not really." And she was like, "Hey, we can go together." It sounded like she was trying to say, like, we're friends. We're friends. We're going to go together. But the truth was, it was all part of her plan.
Yeah,
and it was doing all she was trying to get done, And did you guys catch that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say before that, because I'm scrubbing through it. She has the bite on her stomach, and after the next scene after the jury's adjourned or whatever, she goes in and she cuts up the mark so people won't recognize it's a bite mark. So it was like all that shit you did at the beginning of the episode, screaming it, I'm immune, blah blah blah. She's still like you talk the big
hiding
game.
it,
But you do have some common sense where people can't know. So it's like you're stupid in front of people, but yet like when you think about it, like she knows what she got to do. So it's like this, like becoming an adult, but still being a child, and it's that middle age of being 19, where you're stupid and But
yeah, I think she's trying to cover her tracks. So like, that's she had to do it on arm before to say she's doing the same things she did when she was little. Once again, trying to cover her tracks, and I thought that was just stupid. But I was thinking, do you guys notice the when Dina said that real terrible joke, that really bad pun?
Yeah.
They're really bad. But you gotta remember the joke book with Ellie and Joel.
Yeah, she's writing it down in there. Yeah.
Well, but although the relationship that really gained their relationship, and that's how they really became this father-daughter team, because they had that those joke books and all that stuff kind of really opened up their relationship. So once Dina tells that joke to Ellie, all those feelings came rushing in. She all of a sudden, I'm really falling for this girl, and now I really have to be really careful because I don't want to lose a friendship over the feelings I'm having right now. And that right, B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because before the dance, Joe comes in. That's where the guitar scene comes from, and they kind of are talking, but she's kind of obviously being short and being a dick a little bit with it, and then it goes to the start of the dance scene.
She's in the dance over there talking to Jesse. And that's when she's asking Jesse, like, so you guys will be together in 2 weeks. And Jesse looks at her and says, no, I promise you we won't.
Yeah.
Because Jesse already knew, because I think Dina shared with him her feelings for Ellie.
Yeah. He's like, it's not gonna happen. So it's like, and he knew. And obviously, like, the town is still got some issues with stuff like that. So, she wanted to hide it, but it seems like she's cool with it, or at least feels comfortable around Ellie enough to, not care what other people think, which I thought was cool.
Dina said before, like, hey, she's the only other one that's like you. Like, so it was almost like they had this huge sign pointing at them, like, yeah, hey, I'm gay, like this huge sign. And Dina always seemed interested because she's bringing that up. So that's why I wasn't surprised when we got to the dance scene about what was going on, and how Dina kind of really enticed Ellie. Like she really brought her in. She's like, okay, we're gonna dance real close to this slow song. Oh no, you're gonna put your hands on my hips. Oh no, I'm gonna get real close to you. And then she's gonna say, yeah, Ellie's trying to say, all these guys are looking at you, they're all staring at you. And then she's gonna say, well, maybe they're jealous of you. Maybe they're looking at you because they're jealous of you. So I thought that was all part of her plan. She's trying to make this all happen for her.
Yeah. Like she's the one that was making all the moves and making all the decisions, and and then also, like, Ellie not really being a people person, because the last time she fell for somebody in season 1, like that,
she died. Where?
So I get why I might be a little bit more afraid to get close to anybody, but I thought it was a cute scene. They were having feelings for each other, and I'm like, okay, no big deal. And then they kiss, and then the old white dude is like, hey, get that shit out.
Family show. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's my question: if it was a boy and a girl and they're kissing in the middle of the dance floor, what if he said the same thing?
No one would have given a single flying fuck.
With your 6 and 7 year old kids there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like,
you don't know that. Yeah, it's
not yet. But he did. Not yet. He did call her the D word, though. You know what I mean? So
he's a big kid. It wasn't to that point that you knew anything, but because
he was saying, like, it's in a church or something, right? So maybe he's like, hey, respect where we're at, respect, the people around you. Okay, whatever. But then he follows it up with like, that's why, So the whole time I'm like, okay, is it because of that, But yeah, he has that one extra line in it, that proved that why it only mattered it was them two. So yeah. Because like I'm looking at the picture right now, no one else really gave a shit.
Yeah, I was that's just what I was getting ready to say. He was the only one who made a spectacle out of it.
Would, if he was the only one with a little kid, would that change your opinion? Once again, because it's the idea of once you have little children, there's some things that you do not want to expose them to. Trust me, I promise you that my children at the age that I'm not exposing them to certain things that I wouldn't want them being exposed to. That you just don't want children to do that way,
and that'd be fine.
But then that last line is
line changed everything.
So that's why I don't want to, like, what he said in itself wasn't a problem. It's the way he did it afterwards. I thought that was a real problem.
Because the same thing, high school dance. You know what I mean? Like obviously, no,
they're all high school.
Yeah. I mean, well, they're 19. So. But if you're at your prom, like your teachers and your staff and stuff like that, they're not gonna let a bunch of people making out. It doesn't matter if it's what it is. So it could have been like that, like, hey, we're keeping it clean, cool, But then he. But
you saw the little 6-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and that was all running around too. So that's why, like, I'm not.
I was happy. It was the New Year event. I was like,
it was a new. So everyone was there. All the townspeople were there. So like. I know we want to frame it as one thing until he says, that slur. I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
Then you start to open your eyes and say, "Oh, this is what type of person you are."
Yeah. Because he even said like, "Oh, you're in a church." I'm like, okay, I get it. Some people take it, like being in a church very, you got to be respectful and blah blah blah, and stuff like that, which is whatever, But then, once he calls them the name, that changes the rest of the context of that I think that outlash that he had, because I'm looking at the scene, no one else gave a shit. There's actually, I'm looking at the scene right now, there's a guy and a girl behind them that are
kissing, right?
Like they're about to kiss. They're not kissing though, but they're looking at each other, not a guy and a girl, they're definitely older, they're but so he calls him a name, and Ellie's like, "Oh hell no!" So Ellie steps up like she's gonna do something, and I don't know what she's gonna do, but dude gets body. I want to see the behind the scenes of this, because Pedro Pascal, Joe comes in and just shoulder checks him hard as hell, and the dude goes flying. So obviously Joe's there, kind of watching, which just proves the point of like he's this very overprotective kind of father figure. So.
Is that overprotective though? That's what I wanted to know. Is that overprotective? If my little girl, no matter what age she is, and she's about to step to this grown man who's calling her a name, is that overprotective for me to step in between to say, "Look, bruh, who do you think you talking to?"
Push him through the freaking wall. I mean,
I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, it was my little girl. And she's 20 years old. And he says something, I'm there, I would slam the shit out of him. Through a table.
I don't blame you.
So, but I don't think that's overprotective. That's me protecting in itself.
Yeah.
Is that really overprotective? He overprotective would be him standing between her and Dina, like, hey, what y'all doing? That's overprotective. But protecting someone who was then now called them a name and showing himself to be a bigot, that's when I step in. He didn't say anything about him saying anything to Ellie overall about, hey, stop kissing or whatever stuff. He didn't do that. His comments came in once you call them a name, and that's when he needs to step up. And now it's going to become physical. Oh, I'm going to make it physical. You ain't getting physical with her. You're going to make it physical with me. There was once again him protecting her, setting standards, setting a boundary. not telling her everything she needs to do, but setting this boundary for her.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone else. That's why they're afraid of him. That's exactly why I kept on bringing it up, because that's why they're afraid of him right there.
Yeah, like the whole episode, they kind of lead at like of being afraid of him, and she's just like a byproduct of like, we can't mess with you because it's gonna piss him off. So, and then it proves it here, but then she gets mad at Joel for protecting her, and kind of makes a scene and makes Joel seem like the bad guy. So it's just he walks out, and then I think the scene ends. But yeah, it was started off really good. I'm like, oh, look, young love, and then it turned into just like everyone being mad and people on the floor and people screaming and shit. So I mean, right, it's not a party unless somebody is getting angry at each other.
Yeah, someone wants to fight, and hey.
Yep. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. But let's see what you guys are saying in chat. Tony said, what if Ellie wasn't immune to the new breed of infected Chula? Man, I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Exactly, Tony.
I saw what Tony said that. It was like, yeah, that's great.
Good call on that.
Mm-hmm. Tony, you're not wrong. Yep. Joe and Tommy dealt with messed up world for 25 years, so I trust it. Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
True.
And that's the experience. So my daughter understood the rules, so she scolded her dad for saying her age on Facebook on her birthday.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't say nothing about nothing. Predators are everywhere.
Oh, you were telling me.
The little ladies were making a game out of it. The grown man, woman ain't playing around. Yeah. I mean, because they said sorry, and it was kind of like a half-ass sorry, but whatever. But then, like, who is it? What's her name? Dino was like sorry, because he was just staring at him, So I get it. It's kind of a little bit of a standoff between them two.
I think he's talking about when they're in the when they went inside the house or inside the barn.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing around with that.
So you get here to understand how to stay safe. Dino wanted Ellie's tongue
in the throat. Sure, that's what she wanted. Never mind.
That's the bear BBQ.
The barbecue. That was that line.
Yeah. And they said even in Apocalypse we have bigots. Bro, it never ends.
I mean, you're gonna have bigots, you're gonna have racists, you're gonna have all that. I mean, that's just what it is.
The funky monkey.
Funky monkey.
Man. Yeah, so I really wanted to say something right now. Hey, cut that shit out. Yeah, that would have been fine. It was like, hey, cut it out. There's kids around. All right, cool. So yeah, that was about proper explanation. Yeah. Thanks, Brian, especially without context.
That's what it is,
And then Booksters and Purses out for the night. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And then I don't care how old my daughter is. If I see a man say something like that to her, he's gonna catch these hands. Yeah,
1000%. 1000%.
Right. That's not overprotective. That's just being protected. That's being a parent.
Put them in that sleeper hole. Go sleep. Shh. Go sleep.
I wouldn't go that far. Guy says something. Brian stands up. Guy runs.
Like, and you don't have to worry about me. You should worry about my wife. Wolverine. Don't worry about the bear. Worry about the little Wolverine that's trying to with the claws.
Face apart. Oh man. Right there's when I'm done with her. He did the right thing.
Yep.
With Joel. Yeah. Once you call my kid's name, I'm the Undertaker. Chokeslams for everyone.
Exactly. Y'all get it. Let's go.
Everybody. Yeah. But yeah, what he said was like, that's kind of the moment where you're like, oh, come on, man. Like he's
protecting you.
He's protecting
your back You always looking for someone to have your back, and you're acting this way to not appreciate what's going on. And if you would have been by yourself, you're gonna, even if you beat up this dude, you think that was gonna be good either? Nothing would have happened without Joel there would have been good for you. He's protecting you in more ways you can even imagine.
Yeah, and it's really both of them too. It's also Dina, you know, Dina. I mean, like you know, he's protecting her too, and he even said in the beginning of the episode, he goes, you know, at least she treats me like a person and talks to me, you know. So it's like, so he does, you know, like Dina, you know, it's like, yeah, she's a good person. So, you know, so he's protecting really both of them.
Good.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, she's just so arrogant and so. But yeah, but the as Joe's walking out, that look that the therapist gives, what do you guys think?
I'm telling you, man. I tell you, she's been setting him up from the get-go.
Think so?
Fuck her. Go find your own kid.
Yeah.
It would make sense if she has some resentment for him for killing her husband. You know what I mean? So it would definitely make sense that she's trying to set him up. Or even if she's not trying to set him up, just that she's happy to see that he's going through ish. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, okay, good. At least you're feeling some pain.
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Dina had.
I gotta run upstairs real quick.
Go ahead. I believe Dina was being raised or looked up to Eugene like a father figure. So I don't believe Dina has the parent around either. So she's acting out too because she has no one to give, you know, guidance. She's able to be fast because she doesn't have anyone to give that.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know, if I remember correctly, that's how she was. So she should really be holding a grudge too.
Yeah,
you know, you're not getting. And you know, I know we're talking about Ellie a lot, but remember, I don't think Joel's a good person. I just think that she's right now being an asshole, and we need. When I call it, I'm gonna call it like I see it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with you. So Dina is Eugene's daughter?
I think that not her daughter, but that he watched out for her.
Okay.
I believe that's how it was. Both Eugene looked after Dina overall. Gail and Eugene. I think that's how it was. Said she was like Mr. Burns in the background. Excellent. All part of my plan, you know. I think that was what she's doing. I think she's the one being that person. Mama Pierce is now there were two. So yeah, Eugene, I think that's what it was. Eugene was and Dina was were the ones that were together in that way. Like father-daughter, I think that was.
So then you probably thinking that Dina doesn't know Joel killed him yet then.
Not he knows he killed her, but he thought it's because of a zombie, because he was turned into a zombie. That he got bit. I think that's what the idea is.
I got you.
Yeah, Eugene formed a close bond with Dina during the time with Jackson when he passed away. Yeah. That's how it was in the game.
Okay. So then it kind of makes sense because I know Ellie's gonna find out the truth, right? And I think it's gonna probably be in the next episode where she's gonna find out the truth of what happened, you know. And if that's the case, then maybe Dina finds out the truth too, and it's gonna seem like a lot of them are gonna turn on Joel. That could be where they're going with that.
I can even see them running away from him. I can't be here with you. And then, they're saying all these things, I'm about to leave. And then that's when you see the zombies all coming out. Because once those vines or those roots we saw at the end of the episode, they that the mushrooms were kind of coming through there, and it's a hive mind, right? So if one thing happens, You know, one thing happens, they know everything that's going on inside there.
Yeah.
You know, so now that's why you can tell all the rest of the zombies, hey, let's go flood this place because we got way in. I know everyone is in here, and this is dinner for everyone.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be something that's gonna happen. You're gonna see that town is probably gonna get overrun, and they're gonna have to bounce from there, right? So, yeah, gonna be interesting.
It's literally the easiest way to get away with murder in this world. Exactly, it is.
Facts.
Oh, he was turning into a zombie. I had to shoot him in the face. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Say good night, Dre. Appreciate you. I know you gotta get up for your show early in the morning, so
peace.
They say good night. Night. See, I don't do that in the trade. Yeah. Gotcha, Ace. Yeah, but no, I thought that was a huge thing. And this is another thing that they changed from the game. Eugene in the game, I think, died of a heart attack at 73. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So he died of natural causes, not necessarily from Joel, going to kill him. But that made a lot more sense with having that connection with Gale about what happened. But him being a member of the Fireflies doesn't have to be in that whole. They don't have to be in the room with the Fireflies. They just need to be someone who knew them, that could communicate with someone that was around there. Then all of a sudden, all that hell could break loose.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
He says a question. He says, "I have a question. What would happen if you ate a mushroom off one of those clickers?"
Ew.
Well, if you do that, then you've been smoking too much of that green in the town where the mushrooms look good because you got the munchies, right? So it's like, you know what? Let me grab one of these mushrooms over here. Yeah, that's not good.
I can tell you what's going to happen. You be a zombie.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Did you think that was interesting that the new clickers, the new way they're doing stuff, that they're just halfway turned? They weren't fully turned, and that might have been a reason why they're able to still think. They're still able to still see. Was that part of the reason why they're able to, evolve in that way?
It's interesting, but I think that they're gonna be a big trouble going through. You know what I mean? Because they're different than the other ones. So, if those are they call them, what do they call them in the show? The stalkers. If they get into the town, it's gonna be trouble. It is going to be trouble. I can't wait.
But you gotta remember, it's a hive mind. So all it takes is one. So if one can do it, then they all have this ability to know what this one now knows. So now it could change the way that everyone else thinks because one did it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting.
They said, I think it would be the best high of your life. Yeah, but they're evolving somehow. They are. My bear says, I would totally not be trustworthy in that scenario. Yeah, he cheated on me, but he was turning into a zombie. Yeah, I can see it. All people be dying left and right all the time. But it said, "Wow, mama," but that will work. It would.
You could even
divorce half. She turned into a zombie. You see it.
Yeah, you go one step forward. You put a bite mark on the person too. You bite her arm. You see, she was bitten. I told you. I wasn't lying. Yeah.
Oh man, that's terrible. That's hilarious.
They don't have the technology to check and see if it matches my teeth. You know what I mean?
Someone better. I'm just letting you know. I see it.
Facts.
So maybe this town needs Daredevil to protect them. Well, Hell's Kitchen needs Daredevil.
It would be a pretty cool crossover.
Well, he'll never be in the suit though. We wouldn't know he was Daredevil. Oh man. But that pretty much ended in there. So now Ellie is walking away from the town, walks by Joel, seeing with the guitar. She keeps on walking, which is the other thing that's changed from the game. and she walks into her little apartment garage thing, being an asshole again. Then you see Abby with her group, with her guns that she went to Seattle and was supplied with, from the character that Jeffrey Wright is playing. Do you know the name of the guy that Jeffrey Wright is playing?
No, remind me.
I can't. That's why I was asking, because I don't remember. But I know Jeffrey Wright is the one who leads the crew from Seattle. I remember that they talked about it too. But yeah, he's going to be the leader of that one. I think they're taking advantage of, hey, these people. All we saw in the first episode was that how much more they have. Yeah, they have a lot of ample extra stuff. I think it's Isaac or something like that. I think Isaac's the one who runs the other Seattle. The one in Seattle, Washington. But yeah, he knows that he has all those things. They have all this extra stuff. They have more housing. They have walls. They have security. They have all these things. I mean, to a point where Ellie has 50 cassette tapes. In the middle of an apocalypse, you don't usually have Walkman. You don't have food. You don't have to worry about food. You don't worry about shelter where you have lights. You turn a light on and all the lights come on. Compared to season 1, where you had a town that was eating other people to feed their people. This is the town that has everything they need. So I think that's what really something we're not noticing, but show that how much stuff that extra they had, and why a lot of people wanted to, actually hate on them.
That's something that caught my attention.
JG, what's up? No, this is my boy JG. What's up, man?
What up, JG?
What's going on? Yeah, that's something that caught my attention, on this episode, Brian, how, dare I say, like booming or thriving this particular town was. Especially in comparison to some of the others that we saw in the previous season. They seem to be they seem to be doing very, very well for themselves.
Yeah. And you got to think, right? They've been, living like 25 years like this. So the fact that they're able to keep up those resources, they're going to have to protect that town. People's going to want what they have. So I agree.
I mean, but that's why other people know about this settlement, and they're coming for their stuff. So it's not just the clickers, it's not just them trying to come after them, but it's also other people looking at them and say, I want that.
Absolutely.
And that's why Abby having resources coming into this town, she's going to cause a lot of problems. This next episode is going to be a fire one. It's going to be all about Joel is going to be on trial, and it's going to be Abby, Abby coming after him, and Ellie saying, I hate you. But then now you're going to have Ellie versus Abby, which is a huge thing going forward. Another person who's not good. So we hate Joel's not a good person, right? We hate Ellie, and Abby's the worst. Is there anyone good in this damn show?
Facts.
Well, there was Joel's daughter, but now she's dead.
Exactly. At the beginning, yeah.
It's probably the purest character.
For real.
So other towns are looking at them like, y'all have some real nice shit around you guys. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I try my best not to compete what's going on with what happens in the game. Compare them. I know you try not to compare, but you can't help but compare a little bit and see the difference between what's happening with one and the other. It doesn't have to be shot for shot. I don't want anything shot for shot, but it's interesting to see how the different characters are acting.
100%.
And I think we're going to see a lot of stuff with Joel in episode 3.
And the thing that I like too is even though you may change some things, you can change some things for the better, right? Doesn't always have to be worse. So sometimes you'll change something and it works better with a TV show than it actually would with a video game. So yeah, I'm not sitting there comparing, oh, just so much different and I don't like the way they did this. If you do it and it makes sense, then I'm good with it, you know?
Okay. Tony says Tommy's a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Tommy's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joel's brother seems chill. Yeah.
Should have mentioned him.
The JJ is the best way to watch the show. It really is to compare. Isn't that when we did that with Bel Air? We like doing that with all of it. When He-Man comes out, and we're gonna compare it to the original He-Man. You're gonna do it with Fantastic Four. You're gonna compare all three.
Yep.
This is what's gonna happen. Tommy is the reason why Joel gets killed. Should have shut his damn mouth. Just messing. I was like, that's not what happens. So we're on the same page, Tony. Yeah. Said Tommy is a wimp. Yes, Tommy is a wimp. That's 100% true. Whoever's the closest one to him, that's the one he's gonna bow down to.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about people that don't want to watch the show because Bella Ramsey is casted as Ellie?
They're very perplexing. I don't really I think Bella Ramsey does fine, or not, she does better than fine, like acting wise. I think she does wonderfully. People, I haven't heard anything the full extent of the complaining about Bella Ramsey is she doesn't look like Ellie from the video game. Which is a weird complaint. If you're going to complain, it's not like Pedro Pascal's a carbon copy of Joel from the game physically, but he does great from an acting standpoint. I think the Bella Ramsey complaining is nuts. I think it's beyond toxic. It's exhausting. It's goofy. If you complain about her because she doesn't look just like the game, you a goofy.
I don't think it's just that though. It's also because of her orientation.
I don't care about her orientation. She can do what she wants. I'm here to watch the actor act.
Yeah, no, you're right. My point is that's why people are being so stupid.
It's ridiculous because it seems like they're grown ass men and this is what they complaining about. You know what I mean? Like, just watch the show. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But to sit there and say like, oh, well, I'm not watching it because this person doesn't look exactly like the video game, and like, okay, well, then you're dumb.
Yeah, I can't believe them. It's exhausting.
Dude.
It's not like this girl busted in your door and kicked your dog.
You know what I mean?
I give her big ups, man. She's slightly autistic. She's doing an unbelievable job as acting, and
she's doing a great job.
I'm all about it. You know,
she's doing exactly what they hired her to do.
100%. 100%.
It says they're dumb. I don't pay them any attention.
Agreed, Ace.
Bro, the Bella memes have gotten ridiculous. Yes, I agree. There's a bunch of damn incels.
Yep.
So I think the casting is good. I'll say if Dina whispered in my ear like she was doing Ellie, good Lord. I agree. I got you. I understand. I feel you on that. I know, right? No, I mean, so last thing I want to ask before we kind of get off of this stuff. What do you expect to see next episode? What's your expectation?
So for me, I think next episode is going to be Abby's group, infiltrating the town. I don't think they're going to start off hostile, right? I think they're going to go into town, they're going to check it out. They're going to befriend a few people, and then they're going to find out that that's where Joel is. And then episode 3 is going to hit the fan. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I think Joel's gonna be fine for at least
one more episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking something similar. This is going to be more build up, but with more emphasis on Abby and her crew.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of exactly what Anzo said, infiltrating, just kind of digging their fingers into the community, and just silently plotting.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Definitely.
I like that. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's exactly what Abby said. She doesn't just want to kill Joel. She wants to kill him slowly.
Yeah.
So she's going to do things that she can to ruin him.
Mm.
And then ruin his confidence, ruin his relationships, which is already ruined, and then kill him.
Mm.
She wants to destroy him. And this is why I don't like Abby as a character. There's no need to be ruthless. There's no need to be. You already have monsters everywhere. Now I gotta fight you?
Mm. Hey man, it's apocalypse. You gotta do what you gotta do. Negan was a bad man in The Walking Dead, and he was, you know what I mean? So I get it. So you said she was there. I don't know where they're going within the show, if it's going to be the same, if she was there when it happened or she wasn't there, but either or, this man killed your whole family, all your people. Yeah, I could definitely see why she wants to make him suffer. I can see that. I can see that. Death is too easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, pull out fingernails. You got to cut off toes.
What? It was interesting because I don't feel like even all the Fireflies really believe that Ellie was really the answer. That was something that was hotly contested, even that idea. And then they stole her and said, "I got her, and this is mine, and you ain't getting her back."
And you see that you make a good point, because now I think like maybe sooner or later, because maybe they don't know that they were actually going to kill Ellie, right? To take the stuff from her brain. So maybe some of the people that were Fireflies don't know that, right? So now all you're thinking is that this guy Joel came in there, killed everybody to get Ellie, like we were trying to save Ellie, right? And everybody, so you could see where she kind of thinks that way. And I'm just curious to know if that whole truth is going to come out, right? If Joel's going to tell Ellie, like, listen, this is why I did what I did. And then those townspeople are going to find out it's because they were going to kill her. That's why Joel did what he did, So
it might be too little too late. And
that's for sure. Yeah.
A says, yeah, I think episode 3 is when it hits the fan, just shit everywhere. I've been saying episode 3 for weeks now, guys. So I think Joel is going to last longer than that, maybe closer to the finale. It's interesting.
Ooh.
Well, I see all the previews of the next episode, next couple of episodes, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I don't see Joel in any of them. So that's why I think 3. Delta says he's going to get Ned Stark. It's a good point. Redemption is something that is not really found in this world. Yeah. So I felt like the Fireflies had it coming. The way they're doing it, it said like, yeah, oh, you don't want to do it? Too bad. I gotta.
And you're right, Ace. They did have it coming, but I also think that a lot of people don't really understand what they were doing with Ellie, right? And that's why when Joel, it seems like he was just going in there murdering people and just taking Ellie from there. So they don't actually know what the whole consequences of Ellie getting there were doing. So that's why I think she has that hate for him. And I think if she finds out that, oh, well, maybe the Fireflies aren't what I thought they were, but like you said, it will be a little bit too late. But I think that's going to come to light.
Yeah, I think she's gonna find out that not all of them think that they were going to be able to find a cure. They're just killing her for no reason.
pretty much.
And I also think that it'll probably lead to a lot of regret for what happens, right? You know what I mean? Going along, like she may not find out right away, but she'll find out later on, like in later episodes, maybe 6, 7, and then she'll have a little regret for what she did. So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
See, I believe the Fireflies only believed what Marlene told them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they're just doing experiments, and they say, "Oh, this is the answer," and then they want to kill this little girl.
Exactly.
They said, "Exactly, Tony." They said, "You're right. If they would just sit down and have a conversation, a lot of this would be solved." But it's a TV show.
Exactly.
I say that about From all the time. I was like, "Look, if y'all just come together, write all this shit down, we'll all know what's going on."
Facts.
So can't we all just get along? That's all he's trying to do. Just get along.
Conversation, man. You know.
Delta says, with the way they changed it from the games, I don't see them getting rid of Pedro in episode 3 unless there's a ton of flashbacks. Well, in all those previews that we saw, I didn't see Pedro at all.
Mm-hmm.
And besides the episode that Ellie's sitting there yelling, "You lied to me," and all that other crap. That's the only thing you see him in. And after that, it's like curtains, chili, baby, bang, bang. It's gone. Like he's literally gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Peace. All right. Well, I think it's episode 3. I think Anso, you down with episode 3?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Easily episode 3. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll leap right into it. On only the second week, so I'm thinking 3.
Yep.
Might even bump it to 4, but I'm thinking 3.
It just seems like so many things are going to happen, and we only have 7 episodes, so you have to have some episodes to keep it going. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4 episodes.
Now, the only way I could see it going to 4 is if the next episode is a flashback of the Abby and her crew, right? If they give a little flashback to see where they were and how they got to where they are now, I could see that. But I mean, I don't see them doing that. They already told us. We already know certain things, so I think they're gonna move forward with it. So yeah, 3, episode 3, episode 3.
JG says, "Shoot, he may get it at the end of the next episode."
Oh,
yeah, he might. But I'm saying 3, JG. I'm giving 3.
Mama says Pedro would need to have time to be the Senor Fantastico.
Yes, exactly.
So I think we all talked about this before, but with the other shows he was filming, there's no way he's past the episode 3.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They're usually only show clips for the next 3 from the first 3 or 4 episodes. So he says, I bet 6.
Ooh, okay.
If he lets all the way to the penultimate, that'd be really interesting. That'd be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna find out in a few weeks.
We're gonna find out soon. I mean, so we got next Sunday, we got another episode, and then 3, which I think we might have to do some type of watch party because I feel like that's the one. That's the one, guys.
You're right. I'm thinking you are.
Well, thanks everyone for jumping in here for our discussion on Last of Us. We'll be back on Thursday on a regular time. We're going to be talking about our regular episode, going through all our C2E2 stuff. I got loads of stuff. Brandman got some good stuff. Tank got some good stuff, so we'll go over that, talk about all the fun stuff we have, and then go over the trailers because we have a ton of trailers that are coming out. I believe you get trailer number 2 from the Fantastic Four coming out tomorrow on Tax Day. Guys, hope you guys all survive Tax Day because I feel sick. So about it. Mama Bear says, not even Brandon could make me watch zombies. Is it, bro?
Cap.
There's no.
Are you lying?
Cap.
Delta says, Dan says, there's no way his bro's letting the 6 kids get in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that might be interesting. I only let 1.
And
they will talk to the council.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see this, guys. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. We'll do this next Monday again, breaking down episode 2. Till then, Anzo, I want to say thank you. Can you shout your channel real quick, man?
I appreciate you having me. Bigger Ford Entertainment, guys. Tomorrow night we're doing some From stuff, and then we're also doing the watch party for the final episode of Daredevil. And I'm so glad it's the final episode. Thank you. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh man, thank you for jumping on here. This is a W stream, fellas. Appreciate you. Good night. And I say good night to you guys for me and B.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tank. Good night, everyone.
We all out of here, guys. Appreciate you. Till later. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday, everyone.
The board has concluded the call.